When we understand ourselves, we can stand under ourselves. It's the hallmark of my work. When we understand, we can stand under. We can make the most informed decisions for ourselves. We can have compassion for ourselves because we understand who we are. We understand our strengths. We understand our limitations. We understand our conflicts. We understand our traumas and the things that we've had to go through in life and the things we've had to defend against. This is what it means to stand under ourselves, because we understand ourselves. And as I have said, that's what therapy is. It's just the process of understanding ourselves. And we know so much about ourselves, but there's so much we don't know. And the word that comes to me right now while we're in this pandemic is homeostasis. Balance, harmony. But balance. Our body has the most intelligent ways of keeping us in balance. Things we can think about, things we're not even aware of. But it's got two goals. One is to keep us alive, and one is to keep us in balance. And that includes defense mechanisms. That includes the things that we call defense mechanisms that we need in our lives in order to protect ourselves from being out of balance, from not being able to get out of bed, not being able to go to work, not being able to go to school or take care of our children or take care of our responsibilities. You know, we have conflicts in our lives, a lot of them that we've dealt with, and a lot of them we haven't dealt with. And when we're ready, we will. And until that time, and when we understand ourselves, we know this, until that time, we're readying ourselves. We're readying ourselves. You know, a baby isn't born until she takes her first breath. Until then, she's doing a whole lot of work. She's doing a whole lot of readying to be ready to be born. And that's the same for us. That's where compassion comes in. If we haven't tackled our conflicts, or we haven't done something in life that we want to do, we're readying ourselves. We're not there yet. But when I say we move towards growth, not destruction, it means we move towards growth. If we're not ready to do something, it means we're readying ourselves. It means we're getting to that place in our evolution and our growth that we'll be ready. And when we are, we will. We'll take that chance. We'll tackle that challenge. We'll change that behavior. And until then, we're readying ourselves. And so that's why I always emphasize being gentle with ourselves, with that understanding. So right now we're in this pandemic, right? We're at home. We don't have our normal defense mechanisms to keep us in balance, right? We don't have our normal routine of going to work, going to the gym, having a social life, all the things that we do to distract ourselves. And now, they're legitimate things that we're doing. They're all valid. They also serve another purpose, and that is to keep us from feeling our feelings or being in touch with the conflicts that have yet to be resolved. So they serve a number of purposes for us, our busy lives. So right now we're at home and we're not supposed to go out, and so there's a lot of silence. We don't have those distractions to keep us from feeling those feelings, and so that's why a lot of people are having trouble sleeping, or they're not falling asleep easily, or they're feeling uncomfortable. They don't have any distractions. They're looking for something to do because, in part, that might be because the feelings are coming up. And we might not be ready to deal. We have to be ready. We can't have a pandemic forced upon us and say, okay, we're ready. I guess I have to deal because here it is. Or we have to be ready, and we have to respect that. We have to respect that we're not there yet. And we have to respect the defenses. Whatever it is that we need to do to keep ourselves from being out of balance, right? From being out of homeostasis, we need to respect that. That's part of knowing ourselves. That's part of understanding and respecting ourselves. It's not beating ourselves up or judging ourselves or criticizing ourselves. Why haven't I done this? Why haven't I done that? No. It's well, I'm not there yet. I'm readying myself. I'll get there. Maybe I go slower than I would like. But maybe I also need to understand that maybe there's things that I need to do in my life to ready myself for that. So when I talk about homeostasis, I talk about, in particular, this time of life, or this time in our lives, is, on the one hand, I'm saying we want to get these feelings up and out, we want to deal. But we also need to keep them in if we're not ready to deal. That's homeostasis. That's balance. And so we want to have compassion for ourselves, where we would historically criticize ourselves for not doing it. Or I should be doing this, I should be doing that. I should be starting a project, we're in a pandemic, and I should be doing this, I should be doing that. No. That's only serving to beat ourselves up. When we understand ourselves, we understand and we trust ourselves that when we're ready, we will. If we look at it in percentages, 49% of us could be really wanting to change, really wanting to evolve, really wanting to live our potential. But 51% of us could be like, you know what? Sorry, this is the way it is. I'm not changing. Happy with the status quo. Like it the way it is. And we can live like that for a long time. We can live 49 to 51% for a long time, for years. Which is fine. It's called a compromised position. It means we're afraid, so we're just going to stay as we are. But once we tick over to 50% and then 51%, there it is. That's when we change. That's when we say, I've had enough. I can't do this anymore. And we make changes. We make changes. But we have to be at least 51% ready. Because then that self is in power. And we want to change. And so we do. And we're ready. But if we're at 49%, we can be really uncomfortable. So until that time, while we're in this uncomfortable time, practice compassion. None of these shoulds. Don't should all over yourself, as Carrie Bradshaw has said. Replace it with compassion. When I'm ready, I will. Until then, I'm readying myself. And maybe there are things that are coming up for you now that you are ready to deal with. And wonderful. I want to hear from you. Leave me comments. Leave me private messages. And let me know what your 49% is. What your 51% is. What you're readying yourself to do. Let me know what you're readying yourself to do. And let me know how you can replace judgment and criticism with compassion and gentleness. I'm looking forward to hearing from you.